Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to another edition of the Brothers of Legacy. What's up? Oh, I didn't put my headphones on. Un momento, por favor. All right, let's get this. Don't use that. But use that. Spliggity splow. All right. Grateful for another morning with my peoples, my podcast peoples. Thank you guys for rocking with us as well. Make sure you invite if you're on a podcast on Apple or any application listening to the podcast. Make sure you rate and review. Let us know how dope we are or not. So I appreciate you rocking with us. Hold on one sec. Let's get Pista in the building. Good morning, sir.
Morning.
All right. Can't hear you. So we appreciate you guys today. Let's see. Was it me? Nope, it's not me.
Was it you?
Okay. Hey, now. Yes, it's me.
Okay.
Oh.
All right.
All right. So this is an opportunity to share. Sharing is caring. My brother Terry's handling some business at work. So he would definitely be back on Thursday. But today, me, Pastor, and maybe Mr. Dwayne Goodson. Oh, good morning, Mama Mokori. Thank you for rocking with us as always. So today we're gonna talk about something I thought I said, but I didn't. Pivoting in the time of crisis, being able to pivot in a time of crisis, but just things change. Put crisis, that's like the highest level, but life happens, things shift, and you have to know how to pivot. And pivoting isn't just a action; it's the mental part of it, and changing habits and things of that nature when your life changes in all kinds of ways. So we're gonna dive into that right after a quick intro, and we'll be back in a moment. Hold on, I'm always looking for it, and bam. I didn't want to catch
Good
that.
morning. Good morning.
Good
Good morning. Good morning.
Welcome to another edition of
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. What's up, everybody?
All right. Let me share. I haven't shared yet. Excuse me, guys. While I'm chatting. So here we have myself, AD Walker, and my brother, Pastor Brian Corey.
Bless you.
So my question is first thing, is your mic on? You sound in the hallway.
Better?
There you go. There you go. So when things happen, right, and things shift in your life, blessings, Lisa, thank you for rocking with us.
Blessings upon blessings.
Blessings. So what do you do when things shift in your life, like when things don't go according to plan? Oh yeah, day after MLK. Yes, happy belated. Right. Talk about that one day. What do you do when things don't go according to plan? And when you're by yourself, it's a little easier to deal with shifts and changes because it's just you. When you have a family and things don't go according to plan, always like in the family to like a ship. It's just like that was kind of adjusting everybody, like, all right, we're not going that way, we're going this way now, and everybody's having to change their schedule, even change their mindset and things that they do. Hey, Richard, what's up, my brother? Always get that name wrong. Yes, good morning, Samantha.
Hey, Sam.
So what do you do? He said, panic, help.
The panic button. Right.
All right. What do you do to help with that shift? So what do you do to help with that change? Like one of the first things after you've like cried or cussed and fussed, or what do you do to deal with the change? Oh, right. Inauguration Eve. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. What's up, Chris? Hey, sweetie bot. So what do you do?
For me, I pray, right?
Okay.
When something doesn't happen
Yes.
according to my plan,
Right.
I pray and I ask God for a redirection of my thoughts.
Okay.
Right. I think it's human to expect things to work out the way you design them.
Right.
Right. I heard someone say that if you ever want to hear God laugh, tell him about your plan.
Right. Right.
So I've learned in my life, because you got to realize that, I'm a person who, and I think we've all gone through situations where things didn't work out for us, or at least not in the manner that we thought they would in a particular situation.
Right.
But I think the tougher experiences you have in life, I think the stronger you become in time. So for me, it's about measuring God's time compared to my time.
Right. Right.
And so maybe I feel like sometimes maybe this just isn't my time for this particular thing.
Right.
So I reset my expectation.
Okay.
I understand the scripture. There's a time and a season for everything. So that for me, the first thing I think about is prayer. The second thing I think about is asking God to help me reassess my timeline versus his for my life.
Okay.
That's step one for me. I got like 50 of these. So like 50 steps for me.
Chris said a good nap helps. Listen, I'm gonna tell myself my wife gonna give an amen, whatever. But I know in times when crises have hit, sometimes I just need to go sleep. I need to take a nap. I need to lay down. I'm like, I can't. This is way too much for me to handle. I need to take a nap. I need to listen. I'm sleepy. I can't do nothing. I'm just go take a nap. And I know. He said, "Who will walk right in on a nugget? I need it." Yes. Oh, yeah. But just that has unfortunately sometimes have been my defense mechanism. When things got really tough, when it really got hard, I check out. I would check out, and that's like the worst. Yeah, right. Exactly. Listen, she co-signed on it. Yes, that was my escape. That was my escape.
Sleep. Yeah.
Oh. And hey, what's up, Cole? Good morning. Oh, yeah, I pray for God to direct the path and iron out the creases, to open doors that close to me and create and open new doors, new seasons and blessings. Yes, indeed. Mm-hmm. That I think that's the pivot that you try to get your attitude back in order, because like I said, I want to sleep. Sleeping is my way of trying to make the thing disappear. If I close my eyes, maybe it just go away. But, the prayer and moving your disposition, like one, leaning on God, then it's like, okay, I'm giving it to you. Let me change my attitude, try to look at this thing from a positive way, and trying to change my mindset and not focus on what went wrong or what didn't work in my favor this time. So when he gets up, listen, I'm hoping for the best, Sam. Hoping for the best. Yes, sir. Nap helps recharge the battery. But the withdrawing is definitely something I'm working on, right? Because a lot of times, like when things, you just want to withdraw, especially the things you can't control. When you just like, it's a mountain so big, you're just like, I don't know what to do about this. Chris says, I asked my wife, honey, what do you think we should do? I mean, and listen, sometimes you lean just like, we got to come together. We got to find a way to get through this. Let's pray. And look for divine order. Like, okay, God, we in this space, we're losing this. This is happening. There's no money's coming from the sky. Like there's no checks in the mail. It's just, it is what it is. And I think, like I said, the first step, praying. And like I said, that's a connection with God and shifting your disposition where it's like, okay, let me lean on my faith. Let me lean on everything working out for my good. It's and like you said, you got to look at it like, well, maybe it just wasn't my season to have this or to do this or to get this, whatever the opportunity might have been or whatever life challenge that just happened. Like, okay, maybe this is just something to make me stronger.
Yeah. And this is today's thought. I wasn't always here,
Right.
You could just get frustrated, get depressed, as a young person, you feel like if this plan doesn't work, there's nothing else to do.
Right.
I've learned that the greatest gift that God could have ever given me was the gift of imperfection. For without it, there's no room for growth or improvement.
Right.
So I believe God's greatest gift is imperfection. I think that when it comes to the mistakes in life, I read somewhere that the greatest lesson in mathematics is to calculate the future cost of today's decision.
Wow.
That's the greatest mathematical lesson you could ever learn.
Right.
So that means that when you're trying to establish a plan, you've got to count up the cost. What happens if this works? What happens if this doesn't work?
Right.
What is the impact? But I think that for people of faith, you have to believe, you have to trust God for his plan over and above our plan. That's just the reality. But I do believe that, tactically, there are things that we have to do to reset, to reassess, to reexamine, to rebuild, to redirect. All of those things have to come into play when things don't go right, or you'll find yourself in a rut.
Right.
And sometimes that bed becomes your rut.
Right.
And you get stuck.
Right. It's like getting in that blanket and getting under it. Like, okay, I feel really good right now.
Yeah.
I feel good.
Yeah.
It's bad because I just like, I don't want to get up. I just want to lay here. This is just, I'm feeling good right now. Getting up, I got to deal with the challenge. He said, this is good, though. You must be still take a look at the crisis and get advice from a pro. We're going to get back into that advice thing. I'm a calm, kind, generous man. Used to be angry man. Wow, in the past. And yes, used to be angry and pissed off at things I can't control. Now I'm calm. I don't sweat it anymore. Sweat it no more. God sometimes opens the treasury. It was very imperfect in my head. I guess in my head, in the right way. I was very imperfect. I'm headed in the right direction. I guess you're saying that now, right? He said, "You're speaking to my spirit, right?" Oh, I've been that way since a teen, right? It's. I think it's all about how you handle it. And what's that scripture? In the midst of a wise counsel, there's wisdom in the midst of counsel. You being around the right people, connected to the right people, and I think that's where I needed to be for so long. But then it's twofold because some people have the greatest people around them, but they don't reach out.
Right.
They'll deal with it because they have this perception like I got to maintain this status, this look. I can't look like I'm crumbling right now.
Yeah.
So I don't reach out. Whereas, if I just say, "Hey, Pastor, I'm doing. Oh, here, I got this resource that can help the situation," but I don't reach out. Because sometimes it's not money. It's just I need a resource to do whatever, and it's like I don't have the money, but I got this guy who can make this thing happen. So it's finding that resource. It's finding it's having the connection with wise counsel. And those that are trying to make things better. What's up, Dwayne? Dwayne Goodson in the building. Great morning to you.
And understanding, good morning, brother, that these things are temporary.
Right. That too.
This is a season in time. We have to remember that, the beginning and the end for us are like bookmarks, and all of the great stuff is in between, the bookends. I'm sorry, the bookends. You know how you set your books up and you have to have bookends to hold the books up. And what I realized is the start and finish of my life is like bookends, and all of the information that I'll ever need is in between those two. So I have to recognize that I'm on a path, and there are many things that are going to happen in this path, and not all of them are going to be enjoyable experiences, but all of them can be educational, right?
Right.
So understand that things are temporary, and this too shall pass. And that's why I think it's important to have people to talk to. That's why it's important to have a prayer life. I think the building blocks to overcoming anything begin at the altar.
Right.
You
Yes,
know,
indeed.
and that's just the truth. So it's you can't have this conversation without being engulfed in a conversation around prayer, a
Right.
conversation around how you bounce back. I've learned
Right.
that life is not about what happens to you; it's about how you respond
Yes.
to what
Yes,
happens.
indeed. Yes,
You know,
indeed.
and so and then it's all and also it depends on what that project is, because I've learned, one of the greatest lessons I got came from a guy who nobody in my world today knows.
Right.
When I was homeless,
Right.
in 1991, and I was trying to find a place to live, and this guy pointed out this old beat up, broken down trailer. I think I told you guys that story once.
Right.
And he asked me to help him rebuild that trailer
Right.
from the ground up, and
Okay.
and we rebuilt that thing. And what I did not realize is that God was rebuilding my life the way that we were rebuilding that trailer.
Wow.
So I had to answer an email here. Sorry.
Oh, you fine. So no, I got you. Oh, so Richard Fay says something. Said, guys, did you both ever used to say why me? why mine was double. Why me and why now? why? Then he said something. I'm gonna skip something. I'm gonna get back to everybody else's comment. He said sometimes the season's like Groundhog Day. You're right. You find yourself in the same space, and you're like, what is going? How did I get myself back here? What did I do to get back in the same space? And it's those questions you begin to ponder, and you can get stuck in, that past look like, and then you get down like, I'm gonna always be this way. I'm gonna always have to deal with this. I'm gonna always, and like Pastor said, it's a season, and every time, that's like the first thing I try to tell them, like, it's a season. It's a season. This too will pass. This too will pass. And like, but I'm tired of it coming. I'm tired. I'm so tired. So I think getting into a new space and trying not to get caught up in your old is a challenge at time.
Right.
Sam says, I immediately, not after a nap, whatever, see what is within my power to change the situation, what steps I can take, pray. If frustration sets in, I have two amazing lifelines. Exactly. He said, sometimes the seasons like Groundhog Day, I've heard that. And Chris Rosé said, this is no time to panic. Buzz Lightyear. Oh, he said, but we have to own our responsibility. Yes, indeed. Oh, I said, it's perfect time of panic. I think that's what he said after that, right? He said, I immediately figure out what's within my power to make changes, pray or cry or nap, sometimes both. Frustration sets in. He said, oh, Pastor and L and the wise one. Okay, she changed that up a little bit. He said, I heard that. Yeah, that's what Woody said, right? It's the perfect time to panic. So,
but one thing I wanted to add to that testimony of mine was that just 2 years ago, the guy who helped me passed away many years ago with that trailer. And that lesson stuck with me forever. It was a horrible season of my life, but the greatest lesson came in the rebuilding of that trailer, right? And so what I learned is that I can always rebuild, no matter how bad things get, no matter what breaks down in my life. There's always an opportunity to rebuild from the bottom. That's just the reality. But someone passed away, and had an opportunity to go speak at a homegoing service, and I saw his wife.
Wow.
Yeah, over 20 years later,
Wow.
25 years later. And I shared that testimony with her, because what I did not realize is no one in his world knew what I got from that experience.
Wow.
So I was able to go back to his wife over 20 years later, share with her what I learned from that experience with her husband, who passed on many years ago, and it changed her life.
Wow.
You know, she still reaches out to me today to tell me thank you. And she shares that story. And she's like, I wish Steve had been here to hear you say, I wish Steve had been here to see your life today.
Right.
Right.
That's
So that he would know what that seed was. He would see the harvest of that seed. But I'm glad that I was able to see it. And so at your worst in your life, you never know what's going to come out of your worst. That's the reality that I've learned. And so don't allow your worst to kill you. Allow your worst to allow you to rebuild, because you never know the testimony that will come out of your worst.
Right. Pastor, you said so many things that are just, it touched some personal nerves for me. Growing up, my father wasn't around. My father wasn't in my life. And my youth pastor probably played the biggest role when it came to male influence. He died in his late 30s. And it was a little crazy, because it was like nobody expected Elder Charles Berry to be going anywhere. This man had a heart that was so big, it was just crazy how it was. And when I got the news, I put the family in the car, and after work, we drove from Arizona to South Carolina. And when I got to the funeral, I walk in, the funeral's already started, and I'm standing in the back, just like afraid to go to a seat, and my lips quivering, and I'm just like in shock. And my pastor, and he just, my pastor sees me and acknowledges.
Uh-oh.
You're breaking up.
Okay. Hold on. I think we're losing you. You're probably getting circles. Yeah. All right. Let me get you to come on back. Oh. So I guess he was sharing his testimony. And he's going to finish that when he comes back. So
yeah. You know, I think it's just knowing that. So do we want to emphasize what are the steps, or do we want to emphasize not to let it destroy you? Because we can continue talking about, how to emotionally and spiritually, mentally, psychologically get yourself out of the slump or the heartbreak, the disappointment, the frustration, because that's what happens. When something doesn't go as planned, we tend to get frustrated.
Right.
We tend to, I'm a pause because Dwayne is back.
Yes.
Go ahead and finish what you were saying, brother.
Yeah.
So I'm standing in the back of the church. My pastor sees me, acknowledges me, and his wife, Elder Berry's wife, stands up, and she just turns around and she holds her arms out like, come give me a hug.
Right.
And when I walk, like, Elder Berry was like a daddy to me. So when as she's hugging me, she just whispers in my ear, and she said, "Son, I just want you to know that God will take the people you love just to get your attention." So for me, it hit so different because I was running. I was running. And I was avoided Elder Berry like the plague, because I didn't want that talking to. And I say all of that to say this. Sometimes we look at the lives.
Oh, so close. It's almost done. Almost there. He's dropping the nugget.
Yeah.
All right. But we're gonna talk about steps. We can dig into the steps and how Okay, hold on. He's back. There you go. He's back.
I was AT&T. Look, this is their last month. I was just gonna say that we can't allow sometimes the things that happen.
All right, you back. All right. There you go.
Okay.
Talk fast.
Oh, we got to get Sam's message, Safiria, because she did say that sometimes I think sometimes things have to go wrong,
Right.
for your life to slow down.
I'm gonna type it.
Right.
I'm just
You
gonna
can take a look.
I'm gonna
at
type
what's
it.
going on around you.
There you go. Sometimes Christ, come slow down and take a look at what's going on around you. Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Let's see. We're definitely praying for you, Richard. We're definitely praying for you. He said take 3. Right. He said this is truly a pivot object lesson. He said hashtag Wi-Fi. Right. All right. Oh, yeah. So we could talk lesson and the steps that we take and we've taken, to kind of shift our mindset to not to deal with things better from when the action or whatever happens that affects us to being able to move forward, and that way we can kind of, give an understanding of how we've changed and how we've learned to react better instead of being more proactive. Because a lot of times, most things that happen, for the most part, you see coming. You know the day is coming. Know the bills due. Repo Man is on the way, or you know how close you are to something bad happening.
Yeah, either you know it's coming or you did not expect it to catch you.
Right. Woo.
Right. There's a difference. Some stuff is like
any day now.
Yeah. I tell you a lot of times that there are no surprises, man. Not really.
Right. That's the catching. I always say my greatest honor and privilege and greatest learning time for me, the greatest discoveries about myself, my qualities and character and gifts and talent. It was at the worst and best time for me. Right. All right. Dwayne says the things that requires you to pivot in life are sometimes God's way of assuring you are making a purpose moves. Right. Yeah. He said, Jesus covers me. Yes. Speak, Pastor. He said, don't get stuck. Keep moving. Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Definitely. So what would be some of the steps that you've taken to not get stuck and to kind of when you need to pivot and move forward to make it a little more fluid and less hard, because sometimes when you're first learning, it's just a difficult process. You go through the anger, you go through the, oh my gosh, why right now, Lord? What makes it easier to at least get past the whys and into the forward motion?
Well, first, I think it's getting past the frustration, right?
Okay.
And I have this little internal statement that I make to myself, and it's get away from it. Mm. I get up and I get away from it. I move away from that thing. In other words, I go find my peace.
Right.
Go do something that makes me feel good.
Right.
Go do something that mirror.
Right.
And then I can come back to it. A lot of times, if I'm writing and I've got a blockage, I've got to get up from my desk. I've got to go take a walk, go look outside, go do something, that makes me feel a little better.
Right.
If something goes wrong, I acknowledge it.
Right.
Okay, that didn't work, but it's not the end of the world. It doesn't define me. It's a problem, but it's not my definition. I'm not a problem. That's a problem.
Right.
Right. And I think it's important that you realize that you don't take ownership. You take ownership of the fact that it didn't work, but you don't. You don't. Sometimes what keeps us in a rut is the sentence that we pronounce on ourselves.
Right.
When something doesn't go right.
That part. That part.
And before you can even accept, and that's why I think a lot of us don't like to hear other people criticize us, is because you're just another critic. We criticize ourselves, we sentence ourselves, and it's like, why are you going to put me in prison when I'm already in prison? No, don't go to prison. Right. If you don't imprison yourself, other people's words won't have that much of an impact on you.
Right.
I tell myself I've learned to rebuke Brian. Man, get over yourself. You ain't. It's really not that serious. Right. You ain't all that. Stop it. What? Why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't you make a mistake? You're not perfect. That it's things like that. How can you find the right path unless you know what the wrong one is? There's so many anecdotes that we can put out there
Right.
to help ourselves feel better. But I think the biggest thing for me is just for a minute, give yourself a break.
Right.
Take a break, get away from it, and reset.
I'm with that. I'm with that, Pastor, because that's the first thing I do. I take a break and I meditate and reflect. And my place is generally somewhere in nature, because when I'm out and about, I try to take the focus off of what's going on me. And when I look at anything in nature, I start to see God moving, and it just baffles me. It's like it's the middle of the night, and you only hear a certain type of bird, and it's like
Right.
God, that's crazy, because no other bird is making any noises. It's only this one.
Right.
And then if you shut up and listen, you hear squirrels scurrying through the pine trees. And
Right.
then I look at the stars, and it's like, man, I remember being in Arizona. I remember seeing this same constellation this time of year in this same area. And what happens for me is that reflection, it gets me a little more in tune with God. And normally, not always, but normally I hear God saying, look, what you're going through is easy work.
Wow.
Yeah.
I got all of this going at the same time, and it's seamless to you. You don't even think about it, and it just is.
Right.
And that's generally when I take a step back, and I'm like, wow, it really ain't that serious. This is what I'm not doing, or this is what I need to do. Okay, let's make a move, make an adjustment, and keep it moving.
Right. Right. That break, that breather. I found like that walk, sometimes when you're sitting and you get news or you get the frustration, you feel like it's just sitting on you. But sometimes that walk kind of opens your mind, where you can begin to see past the situation. You get to see past whatever's happening in front of you. And actually sometimes you come up like, oh, I didn't think about that. You start processing a solution. You're like, oh, why was I tripping? And it's those moments, and we talk about it. Sometimes I think, when people say prayer, people think, you gotta get all in the closet, get your ritual going, and get on your knees and just start praying. But sometimes prayer is like, I gotta escape. Let me walk with God. I just gotta walk with you. I gotta talk this thing out. I gotta yell at you a little bit because I'm a little frustrated with myself because whatever decision I made, it's now got us in this situation. God, I need some clarity. I just need some clarity and what's going on. And then you get quiet, and things begin to get revealed. I think getting out of the ritualistic thinking of how you connect with God is just connect with him. Talking with him, learning about him, studying, and just begin to build a real relationship. Because that's what it is, just building a relationship with God and having understanding of why you're here and what can you learn from this moment.
And success is built on failures.
Right.
Failures are the building blocks to your success. If you do, and I said it, 10 minutes ago, you'll never understand or appreciate success without failure.
Right.
Multiple.
You understand? How you going to know what's right unless you've experienced what's wrong?
Multiple times normally.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, it has to be. I said that the greatest gift God could have ever given me was imperfection. Right? Because perfect means there's no room to grow.
Right.
There's no opportunity to learn. Purpose means having no target.
Right.
Imperfect means I'll always have a target that I'm aiming for, and that's it. And so life is about climbing, climbing your ladder, climbing your mountain, climbing your hill, and things are going to happen. There's going to be slips. There's going to be slides. There's going to be all these things. Yes. Fail fast, fail often, so that you understand what it is, because all of that toughens you up. It toughens up your ability it toughens up your determination. When you build those scars of failure, man, that becomes the bands for success. It's just the truth. So and get over yourself. I mean, life is about taking steps, right? Life is about taking small steps that lead to large or small steps lead to launches. That's what because you can start small. When you look at the Olympics, you look at the long jump.
Right.
You don't start off jumping with everything that you have. No, you start off running and you pick up speed and then you launch.
Right.
That's the reality. In life, a child has to crawl, walk, then run.
Right.
So it's about taking small steps and that increase over time. And at some point, you're going to take a leap of faith. And man, you're going to hit your target. You're going to hit your mark. That's what it's about. And man, if you don't have any scars, how are you going to help anybody else if you have not gone through anything tough? Life is not about just success for yourself. Life is about being able to pour into somebody else the lessons that you've learned so that they don't make the same mistakes that you make. They'll make different ones, but not the same ones. So look for the lesson, challenge yourself to identify the lesson in what went wrong and build from that and keep your attitude in the right place.
Yes, indeed. Speaking of building, tonight at 7 o'clock is Solomon Temple Christian Ministries Bible study. So we'll be right back. Yes, that man right there. We'll be right back in less than 30. Bam! All right. Pastor had to jump out. He said, Richard said, why can't the right path be illuminated in green neon and the wrong path illuminated red neon?
I was that comment right there. It made me. The truth is, most of the time, it is illuminated.
Yes, indeed.
Is our perspective. We just don't see it until we smack our face a couple times, and then it's like, oh, it was that all this time. I mean, am I the only one? Have you ever had that feeling?
Right? No. It's
like, man, it was that simple.
Right.
It was really that simple.
Right. Oh. Let's see what else he said. Oh, he said, Q, keep on moving my soul to soul. He said, I too wish it would light up for me, especially today. Oh, man. Let's see, Lord, why couldn't Russell Wilson throw out?
Because he's a Seahawk.
No way. The layer results. Success is built on failures. Yes, indeed. That was from a pastor's comment. Fail fast, fail often. Yes, indeed. Michael Jordan said, I fell over and over and over again. That's why I succeed. Always failure is an opportunity to learn learn in all things. That's common Mount Everest. So hallelujah. The sacred game. Appreciate you, Cole. Trying to get better. Solomon's Temple, like he said, like the first time you ride your bicycle without stabilizers. Yes, indeed. Like that is Terry Morning. He said, I've been there before. Was it really that simple? Right. Like, a lot of times it's in your face. It's the answer is closer than you think. But we get caught up at looking at the problem or situation. He said, you're not the only one doing some pathways look green when in the long run are red. I guess that means without God, we're colorblind. Wow.
Ooh, I like that perspective.
That's good. Gifts of imperfection, gift of wisdom, gift of discernment. Yes, indeed. Understanding, where you're going and what's going on and what's going to happen is definitely key. Definitely key. But
it is
staying connected, praying, and then praying outside of crisis. Praying on a regular, having a relationship, having understanding, because sometimes God will give you those those notions. They're like something's going to happen. I need you to prepare for it. You know, I
Right.
need you to prepare. There's a shifting happening. There's something's gonna happen in your family. There's something's gonna happen around you. You know, you get those words like, okay, just prepare. You know, prepare. So when things happen, you're not totally caught off guard. You know, you may not know exactly what, but you're at least in a position of preparation. And you spoke to your family. Go ahead.
And no, I was just gonna say why AT&T was jerking me around. One thing that I realized, pivots are often when you reach a place in life where a pivot is required.
Right.
Through the example of Jesus, what I've realized is it's generally an opportunity for you to meet a need for somebody outside of yourself.
Right.
If we examine Jesus's ministry within the 3 years that he was preaching the gospel and he was teaching, laying hands and healing people, Jesus was going about his business most of the time. And then somebody came and had something or had a need or wanted to ask him a question, and it turned into a point where he was like, okay, gather around. Let me talk to you. Hey, okay. So there was this man. Okay, so there was these 10 people that it always turned. So it was places where he was en route to somewhere. And along that route, somebody else had a need, which caused him to pivot. And his pivot was meeting somebody else's needs. So sometimes maybe we're just not aware of who we're around or what God has us to do in that situation. Because going back to what my youth pastor's wife said, if God will take somebody to get my attention, God will interrupt your space to give to somebody else as well.
Right. He said, Goodson, the Seahawks will get some good picks and free agents. How we always get back to the Seahawks there, Richard. I don't understand. I don't understand.
Look, they put him in a pivot in his life place, and he's at a pivot with them right now. Y'all done out of the playoffs, and but my 49ers that too. So,
before we continue on, I just also want to let you guys know tonight. I know, no segue, just jump right in. The Sisters of Legacy got an amazing topic about are women misunderstood, or man, I had the title in my head, but it's going to be a great topic, and I'll mention it when I come back. Before Sam kills me, so I only want to get it wrong. So tonight at 8:30, same place, same channel. Make sure you check out the Sisters of Legacy, and we'll be right back.
boy, that go hard. That go hard.
It's cool. So my brother Taiwan said, brothers, please pull up for the Sisters of Legacy tonight. We gotta be there. Yes, indeed. And tonight they're talking about, is the woman's role underrated or misunderstood? Is the woman's role underrated or misunderstood? It's funny. I was watching, yesterday was MLK Day, so they had all the movies on. We're watching which one? Get on the Bus. Was not Get on the Bus. Selma. And another one. What was the other one? It was better, and the lady really looked like Coretta Scott King. I can't remember it. It wasn't made. I I hate when I can't remember it, but it was really good, and we're getting to watch it from a different lens. Like, you watch Martin Luther King, and what he went through, but then you kind of watch what Coretta went through as well. Like when the home was being threatened, getting the phone calls and things like that. Whereas he goes out, but she has to be home. They know where she lives, or they live and whatever. And, not until the firebombing, he was like, yo, you need to get out of here. And it was during the Montgomery boycott, bus boycott. I can't remember the move, which one, there's been different ones, but it's the more.
Was Mario Van Peebles in it?
Yes. Is he in there? I think it's
talking about. Yeah, I know.
So let's see. Oh, I'm about to pull at Terry. So forgive me. I still see it. It's all good. You need to see it. I'm gonna let you slide with that. He said, "Stop pulling down on your face." He said, "Stop pulling down on your face, my bro." No. Not sure.
If it's me, these lights are like super bright sometimes. So my slanted eyes already are. My eyes already slant downward.
Powerful.
But they get way worse when these 5 lights are just bam, bam. Sometimes I can't even see what's in front of me.
So Cole Pastor said, I saw that. He says, I saw the comment about someone. He said, "Is he gonna get you later about that one?" He said, wait. He said, "I'm not even defend myself, Cole." Just and that's Terry. Oh,
that's the legacy you leave, Terry. That's the legacy you leave, brother.
Oh, so let's see.
Martin Luther King Jr. was Thanos.
He said, "Oh wait," he said, "I love Selma." He's seen Selma. Oh, Cole. Oh,
Cole, you
There's a whole nother fight. So, we're not gonna be before you long, but real quick, just to kind of close it out with pivoting in the crisis, not getting stuck, because that's if anything you can take away is just not getting stuck in a situation where you're focused on the problem, and we know many people that get stuck in an issue or situation that's happened so long ago that they've not known how to move forward. Even a loss of something goes wrong, and you got to learn to forgive. And we talk about forgiveness, not only forgiving others, but forgiving yourself for whatever mistakes that you've made. And that can't. I got to reiterate that. You got to forgive yourself. It's cool that you've forgiven others or anyone else involved in the situation, but you got to forgive yourself for the decisions or mistakes that you made. Because if you so down or hard on yourself, you're always going to judge yourself against a problem. Oh, let's see. Hold on. He said, "No, it's not you. I'm speaking of the main brother in black, very handsome guy. So I say that because that's not a healthy move for your face. As we grow older, things are going to droop in time. So push up your face instead of using your hands to pull down on your face." I know it's just something that we are not aware that we all do until we learn better. Just a health tip. No, it's not you. I'm speaking of the main brother in black. Okay, I get me. I don't know. I have to read that again. He said, that's the topic this week's KCP, like Chronicles. How to get unstuck. Yes, indeed. He said, "Miss you, Rowe, learn to forgive and fight back." Yeah, because we get stuck in a space where we're constantly, judging ourselves against a mistake we made years ago. And in doing so, we never move forward, or we never progress, or we miss out on opportunities because an opportunity will come. You've ever talked yourself out of something like, "No, I can't do that because I did this back in the day," or I made this bad decision back in the day. And I've done that to myself, and I've had to realize, like, it's all good. You messed that up, but we've learned from it. Let's move forward and do better this time. Yeah, right. Myself for a lot of stuff, and it's constantly like a mental fight, a mental struggle, just to kind of make sure you push yourself and not stay in comfort, because opportunities come and it's going to push you into a space where you're not used to going, you're not used to doing, and it's part of who you're becoming. And sometimes it's like, is that where I'm supposed to be? And we talk ourselves out of great things, and we wonder why, the blessings are not coming because we're not in position. So that's that. Don't let a crisis or a situation become who you are. Don't let it be your label, because you'll label yourself more than anyone else would. I'm a loser. I fail at everything. I don't get this particular thing right. He said, now, it's sad. You've seen a movie. I haven't.
Expeditiously. He went Clifford Harris on you.
Right. So Dwayne, what would you say about pivoting?
When you find yourselves in moments in life where there's a need to make a change, where there's a need to do something different, think of this as an opportunity to grow. Nothing in life is going to be easy that's worth having and worth keeping. Growth can be looked at in several different ways, but it's never comfortable. And it's always going to push the envelope. It's always going to require there to be some rub, some friction. But it's needed. So when there's moments in your life where things seem to not be going right, just think of it this way. This is an opportunity for not only for you to grow and for you to get better, but for you not to have to face that obstacle again. Because once as a kid, I remember there was a female who was a bully at my bus stop. Y'all can laugh at me, and it's cool. It's cool. Because she was 14 and I was 11. So at those ages, like girls grow a lot faster than boys. So every day I would be the first person off the bus.
Wow.
Because I would take off running after I got off the bus. And I had to get home quick. One day my mom was home early from work. And she was like, boy, what are you sweating and huffing and puffing coming in this house like that for?
Right.
I was like, nothing. She was like, nothing. What you running for?
Right.
I was like, well, I ain't gonna call her name out. She cool now. But I was like, every day she chased me and she pushed me down. And she said, boy, look, there's only one way to handle a bully.
Right.
You got to bully the bully. And I looked at my mama and I was like, huh? I had a Kevin Hart moment. I was like, huh? And she said, you're going to keep getting your butt beat until you fight back.
Right.
So the next day, I didn't get on. I wasn't the first one off the bus.
All right.
I let her get off the bus.
Right.
And then I pushed her off the bus as she was walking down the steps. And then I ran home.
That's how you handle it.
I was still scared. But after I got suspended off the bus and got a beating, that was the last time she ever bothered me. And I said all of that to say this. Every time you go through something that's uncomfortable, that you don't know where the answer is going to come from, that seems like it's holding your life back, holding you back from living. It's an opportunity for you to get to a place where you've never been before. And you can't get there until you learn to pivot in those crises. Those crises are not there to kill you. They're there to make you strong. They're there to make you better. They're there to add to you so you can add to the next person.
Right. There you go. Bam. That was good. That's how we do. So I appreciate you guys rocking with us. Hold on. So let's see. He said, oh, wait, we're not going to glaze over the fact that you said she. Hey, listen.
Look, she was about 4 inches taller than me.
I've had mine too. I had to cut your beat down too.
Look, Terry 5'3". I ain't like there ain't no girls taller than him when he was 11.
Right. I published a book and went to school reunion and seen a teacher who said you amount to anything he finds out. Big humble pie, nice. He says you too cold for that, Dwayne. As old as Moses. All right, guys. We got he said the girl gonna be right.
Oh, we mad cool. We mad cool now. Tequila Bethay, if you ever catch this, you know we go back. Like,
We good.
she had a crush on me back then. That's what.
He said, "Wait, I'm 5'8".
I'll be messing with you, my brother.
All right, we're gonna get out of here. We appreciate you guys rocking with us and hanging with us. If you've not shared it or tagged somebody else in here, make sure you do so. And again, make sure you check out Solomon's Temple Christian Ministries as well as Sisters of Legacy. I will be posting both of those on the Brothers of Legacy Facebook page. So if you haven't found it yet, it will be up there as well. I'll give you an opportunity to follow. So we appreciate you as always. Make sure you continue to stay safe, wear your mask, do the right thing, as well as know that we love you, but God loves you more. And we see you in the AM. Peace out.
I didn't want to catch that. Good morning.